Mastering Subject-Verb Agreement, a comprehensive guide. Welcome to today's video, where we'll be delving into the essential topic of mastering Subject-Verb Agreement. Whether you're a student, writer, or just someone looking to improve their grammar, this guide will help you become a pro at ensuring your subjects and verbs match perfectly. Let's get started. Chapter 1: Understanding Subject-Verb Agreement. Voice subject-verb agreement is the backbone of proper sentence structure. It's all about making sure that your subject and verb are in harmony. If the subject is singular, the verb should be singular. If the subject is plural, the verb should be plural. Chapter 2: Singular Subjects and Verbs. Now, let's look at singular subjects and verbs. When you have one person, place, or thing as the subject, your verb should match in number. Example 1: The cat sleeps peacefully. Singular subject cat with a singular verb sleeps. Chapter 3: Plural Subjects and Verbs. Next, let's talk about plural subjects and verbs. When you have multiple persons, places, or things as the subject, your verb should be in the plural form. Example 2: The dogs bark loudly. Plural subject dogs with a plural verb bark. Chapter 4: Special Cases. Sometimes, subject-verb agreement can be a bit tricky. There are special cases to consider. Collective nouns, treat them as singular when referring to a group as a whole, and as plural when referring to individual members. Example 3: The team is working hard. Singular, referring to the team as a single unit. Example 4: The team are wearing different uniforms. Plural, referring to individual team members. Indefinite pronouns. Some indefinite pronouns are always singular, always plural, or can be both. Example 5: Everyone is here. Singular. Example 6: Some are coming. Plural. Chapter 5: Agreement with compound subjects. When your sentence has a compound subject, two or more subjects joined by and, use the plural verb. Example 7: Tom and Jerry are friends. Compound subject Tom and Jerry with the plural verb are. Chapter 6: Agreement with intervening phrases. Be cautious with intervening phrases. The subject and verb must still agree, even if there are words between them. Example 8: The box of chocolates is on the table. Singular subject box with a singular verb is. Chapter 7: Practice makes perfect. To master subject-verb agreement, practice is key. Read, write, and edit sentences regularly to reinforce your understanding. Subject-verb agreement might seem daunting at first, but with practice, you can master it. Remember the basic rules: singular subjects go with singular verbs, plural subjects with plural verbs. Be mindful of special cases, compound subjects, and intervening phrases. Soon, your writing will be clear and grammatically correct. Thanks for joining us today. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe for more grammar tips and language advice. In addition to understanding subject-verb agreement rules, here are some key guidelines to keep in mind. 1. Inverted sentences. In questions and sentences with inverted word order, where the subject comes after the verb, maintain subject-verb agreement. Example: Is he coming to the party? Singular subject he with a singular verb is. 2. Collective nouns. As mentioned earlier, collective nouns can be tricky. Consider the context and whether you're referring to the group as a whole or its individual members. Example, the jury is delivering its verdict. Singular, referring to the collective noun jury. Example, the jury are arguing among themselves. Plural, referring to individual jurors. 3. Titles, names, and phrases. Titles of books, movies, names of companies, and phrases referring to a single entity are treated as singular. Example, The Lord of the Rings is a classic. Singular, referring to the book title. Example, Microsoft is a tech giant. Singular, referring to the company. 4. Distance and time. When talking about distance, time, or amounts, use a singular verb. Example, 10 miles is a long distance to run. Singular, referring to the distance. Example, 2 hours is enough time to finish the task. Singular, referring to time. 5. Prepositional phrases. The subject-verb agreement is determined by the subject of the sentence, not the object of a prepositional phrase. Example, one of the students is giving a presentation. Singular subject 1 with a singular verb is. 6. Either /or and neither /nor. When using either /or or neither /nor to connect two subjects, the verb agrees with the subject closest to it in number. Example, neither the teacher nor the students are happy. Plural verb are because students is plural. 7. Percentages and fractions. Treat percentages and fractions as singular when they refer to a specific quantity. Example, 50% of the cake has been eaten. Singular verb has. 8. Expressions of quantity. Expressions like a lot of, a majority of, and some of take the form of the subject that follows. Example, a lot of the food was delicious. Singular verb was. 9. Always singular. Some words are always singular and should take singular verbs, even though they might seem plural. Example, mathematics is my favorite subject. Singular. Mathematics is always singular. 10. Beware of unnecessary phrases. Remove phrases that can confuse subject-verb agreement, such as interruptions or parenthetical expressions. Example, the cat, along with the kittens, is asleep. Singular subject cat with a singular verb is. By following these rules and guidelines, you'll become adept at ensuring subject-verb agreement in your writing, creating grammatically correct and clear sentences. Let's summarize the key rules and guidelines for mastering subject-verb agreement. Subject-verb agreement rules and guidelines. 1. Basic agreement. Singular subjects match with singular verbs. Plural subjects match with plural verbs. 2. Singular subjects and verbs. Example, the cat sleeps peacefully. Singular subject cat with a singular verb sleeps. 3. Plural subjects and verbs. Example, the dogs bark loudly. Plural subject dogs with a plural verb bark. 4. Special cases. Collective nouns are singular when referring to the group as a whole, and plural when referring to individual members. Indefinite pronouns can be singular, plural, or both, depending on context. 5. Compound subjects. When two or more subjects are joined by and, use a plural verb. Example, Tom and Jerry are friends. 6. Intervening phrases. Maintain subject-verb agreement even when words or phrases separate the subject and verb. Example, the box of chocolates is on the table. 7. Inverted sentences. In questions and inverted sentences, ensure subject-verb agreement. Example, is he coming to the party? 8. Titles, names, and phrases. Treat titles, names, and phrases referring to a single entity as singular. Example, The Lord of the Rings is a classic. 9. Distance and time. Use singular verbs when discussing distance, time, or amounts. Example, 10 miles is a long distance to run. 10. Prepositional phrases. The subject-verb agreement is determined by the subject, not the object of a prepositional phrase. Example, one of the students is giving a presentation. 11. Either/or and neither/nor. When using these connectors, the verb agrees with the subject closest to it in number. Example, neither the teacher nor the students are happy. 12. Percentages and fractions. Treat percentages and fractions as singular when referring to a specific quantity. Example, 50% of the cake has been eaten. 13. Expressions of quantity. Match the verb with the subject following expressions like a lot of or some of. Example, a lot of the food was delicious. 14. Always singular. Some words like mathematics are always singular and take singular verbs. Example, mathematics is my favorite subject.